Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's good to see you. This is a reading for Virgo sun signs, or if you have significant Virgo placements in your chart and are needing a masculine energy to work with or balance within yourself. So Virgo, this is now my third attempt at recording your message today. There's a lot of energy in this reading, and so it is just taking a couple of attempts in order to get it right. So Virgo, it's a really lovely energy. So because this is a masculine sun reading, I'm putting you, the viewer, as being sort of a masculine energy where you're taking actions towards somebody else who I'm putting as the feminine energy. So it doesn't have to do with gender, but it could be. It's just, that's sort of the energy that's coming through. So fit yourself into the story however you see fit and however resonates for you. The way I'm going to read it though is that if you're watching this, you are the masculine energy. That's how I'm just going to put the reading into words. So, bottom of the deck energy, just so lovely here. You have this ecstasis card and the unity, which is really lovely. But then underneath that is the pook and the soul shrinker. This is feeling something like an environmental factor or something that's not in your control, or even like a past memory where it's like there's something about perhaps a wounding from a soul shrinker type energy where the pook is coming out to try and find a solution to solve that. And that's with this unity and ecstasis energy, which is so beautiful. And then you have here the fan and the lily, which is this romance, celebration, party, and spiritual love, right? That's all that unity energy. And the tent, which says temporary solution, or sorry, temporary situation. Whatever it is that's happening right now is a temporary situation. It is shifting towards this spiritual love and romance. There's something here about like hidden secrets can harm you, which is interesting. I feel it. So anyways, we'll leave that like that. There could be something about like anyways, we'll get into the cards. If that comes back up, I'll bring it up again. So you're coming through with this masculine energy, which is very incredible here. The Luathis, the Wild, the Piper, and Solace. So for masculine reading, this is an incredibly potent and powerful masculine energy to come through with in this reading today. So it feels like you have a lot of drive and clarity with the Solace card to move towards a particular feminine energy. So it doesn't have to be necessarily like a woman, but it could be like an opportunity or something like that. Or the example that was coming through here was like somebody that you know in a particular context. Like it could be like work or whatever, a place that you go. You only know them in one particular context is what's coming through. But there seems to be a desire for you to shift the dynamic between the two of you, right? And like start something new is kind of what's coming through. They're coming in with the Bright Mother, Tobiah the Water, and Lascuna. But if you notice with all of these cards, there's a lot going on around them, which is feeling like, especially with the Tobiah the Waters, I feel like that's the main focus of this reading, where it's like I feel like you are seeing them as being this Bright Mother, right? There's a lot of sexual attraction between the two of you is what's coming through, especially because this rabbit here, the rabbit card came out underneath the Luathis the Wild, which is a very accurate energy where it's like too much concern with sexual matters. And the reason why it's coming through like that is like Luathis the Wild burns really hot, right? But the caution is like make sure you're not moving impulsively or doing too much is kind of what's coming through here, because the reason why there might be kind of like resistance in this situation, because it feels like your energy is really beautiful, but there may be resistance in this situation because of this Piper card. So this is a very seductive energy, but it's coming out here with the Cup, which says you should accept valid criticism. These tea leaf cards are like super direct. So like if this is where the resistance is coming in, where it's like the way in which you may be approaching this bright mother, whoever they are, it might not be registering on their radar, right? They may not be responding in like responding how perhaps it feels like it's not working. There's some sort of like resistance here with the Piper of like the way in which you're approaching them feels like it's not I feel like maybe there's, because I'm seeing here, especially with the Piper, there may be also kind of like I was seeing like a cut on your lip or something like that, like not literally, energetically, like some sort of like wounding around the mouth, which may indicate like perhaps like some sort of difficulty in expressing your feelings or how you want to approach this one or something like that. So the Piper coming in very, very like seductive and is singing this sort of a really beautiful song with this Ecstasis card, but it feels like maybe it's not direct is what's coming through. It's not a direct approach. And I feel like that might be the sort of there's resistance there, or like instead of like singing a song, maybe just call them or something, right? It might be something like that. But anyways, it's wanting to go a little bit more into the feminine energy to try and figure out what it is that they're going through. Because here with the bright mother, it's like I feel like you're seeing them as being somebody who gives a lot, because their energy is coming through with June, with this sort of like giving energy, right? They're very nurturing and they give a lot. It's like you might even see potential for like starting a family or building together is what this is looking to me like with them. And I feel like right now it's coming through, like they're coming through with this. Both of these cards mentioned murky waters, like being in a swamp. So that's kind of what it is that they're dealing with at the moment, right? All these things in the background that I want to say have nothing to do with you, but it's like it's affecting their ability to focus on this connection is kind of how it's coming through. Their energy is coming through, and I feel like they're working through this, right? It's like they're focused on clearing these murky waters. That's what it's looking to me like, especially with the Tobiah of the Waters that talks about like purifying emotional energy, especially with the Five of Cups here, because this is all the water that they're dealing with. So Five of Cups typically talks about like a loss of some sort. So it could be that, but it could also just be like an overwhelming emotional state in general that they are working through and trying to heal is what's coming through here. But because of this energy here with the Tobiah of the Water, it's saying, it's coming out with Cobweb, which says protected from negative forces beyond your control. This is saying that whatever it is in their environment, they are working really hard at protecting their energy from negative energies outside of them, right? Whatever's in their environment. So it's not at all saying that your energy is being perceived as negative, right? Because it's kind of like their back is turned to you. Their focus is not on you at the moment, or like they can't. They can hear this, but they're not focused on it, is what's coming through. It's just because they're trying to focus on this at the moment. And it's kind of like through this purification process, it's like anything that's not a match to this energy is being prevented from entering their space, is what's coming through. Because this Lascuna card talks about, to me, it talks about like listening for the right opportunity, right? And it came out with this ear, which says good news. It's kind of like the only thing that they're focused on is, or like, not the only thing that they're focused on, but their ear is tuned to a particular frequency that is tied to good news, or what's coming through here is happiness, right? So the way in which this is coming out is that, so you may know this about them, or you may not, that this fiery energy of yours, which is incredibly beautiful, this fiery energy of yours may actually be a source of discomfort for them at the moment, because it's kind of like, not because of you, but because it feels like they're in some sort of like a murky swamp, where it's like this passionate energy of yours is actually not a happy memory for them because of perhaps trauma, right? So if this may not resonate for everybody, but it's kind of like, for example, like if they have sexual trauma of any sort, or if they've endured any sort of like sexual assault or whatever, right? Something, or it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could even just be like the last time they had any sort of like sexual encounter, it was really unpleasant. And so it's like, even though that they appreciate this energy about you, it's like it's activating a negative memory, is what's coming through here. It's activating a negative memory with the 9 of Wands and the 2 of Swords. So notice all this fire, right? This is your energy, the 8 of Wands. A lot of intention, a lot of fire, a lot of passion, which is in itself very beautiful. In the context of what they're dealing with, though, it's kind of like, for them, they're coming through as the wounded warrior, where it's like the wounded warrior, which is like having guardedness about this particular situation or wounding, because it's like it's perhaps triggering in some way, right? Because the last memory or whatever, they're with this, the Tobiah of the Waters, they are actively cleaning up this energy or this vibration. I feel like they are working on healing themselves, right? Or healing this particular topic or whatever. But it's still uncomfortable is what's coming through here. And so perhaps not criticism, maybe criticism, or like if you're wanting to change the approach, or like change how it is that you can connect with this one, it's coming through here with the Solace, right? And underneath that was the Happiness card. Sometimes the way that the cards come out is just like, it's so mind-blowing to me. But anyways, so Solace and Happiness, because those are obviously linked together, right? And the things, the cards to come out to like explain that, because they are, with the Lascuna, absolutely ready for a new start is what's coming through. But they're tuned to a particular frequency of like hearing good news. I don't know if that's like something related to you. It could be, right? It could be like, but maybe not. This may actually be something that's not related to you, right? They're like waiting to hear good news from something else so that they can stop being distracted and focus on whatever this is. But it's like that this hasn't come in yet, or it is coming in soon, though, is what this is feeling like. They're waiting on some other good news that perhaps has nothing to do with you, but once that good news comes in, that'll free them up, is what's coming through with this. Because it's coming out like with the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins. So I always see this as being like receiving a token in an arcade, for example. So it's like, it's talking about like a new start, something playful, some sort of new adventure. I feel like maybe they're waiting on that kind of energy. I don't know if it's from you or from like something outside of the, something within their circumstances, maybe. I'm actually not sure if this has to do with you, but it's like here with the Hermit card, because I was trying to ask for like an outcome, or like like I'm not gonna tell you what to do in this situation. I'm just laying out what the energy is showing me, is that the Hermit card was the last card in the spread, which is obviously Virgo energy. This card to me always reminds me of Harry Potter and the Patronus, which is a spell that requires happiness in order to conjure properly, right? So usually that involves like pulling on your happiest memory, pulling on the happiest memory that you can in order to conjure the Patronus, right? To whatever, connect or send a message or whatever. And so that is looking to me like this, if you want to call it guidance, right, is to connect with this happiness energy, because that's the only way in which you can cast the spell. I feel like this one is waiting for that, or like they're listening for that frequency is what's coming through here. They're listening for the frequency of happiness, and if that's not, if they don't hear that, then they're not going to even, like, it's not going to reach them, if that makes sense. It has to be this energy of happiness, or else it's like it's not even going to register to them, if that makes sense. They're not going to recognize it. And I feel like as well here, Virgo, because it's the Hermit energy, where, but it's like this figure is cloaked, right? So it's talking about like being yourself, right? To trust yourself. And it's also kind of coming through with like in Harry Potter in the third book, where the Patronus is relevant. There's this scene at the end, or like near the end of the story, where he thinks he sees his like father cast the Patronus, right? That like saves them all, but it was actually like a future version of himself. So it's kind of like thinking that maybe you have to show up in a different way, or like, but it's saying don't do that. It's like this one's completely open and bare, and it's kind of like they want you to show up like that as well. It's what's coming through here. It's like without the cloak, no like no Piper kind of energy. It's like there's like, maybe there's like some sort of mask, or like masking what you're saying, maybe, that is they're not going to hear that. They're absolutely not going to hear any sort of like flattery, or flattery is not quite the right word, but it's like if you're like masking what you're saying, or like coming in with sort of like a cloak of some sort, they're not going to hear that at all. This one's not even going to entertain that approach, if that makes sense. Because they're in an energy of like good news, purity, this sort of like Nothing but clean waters is what this is coming through with. Okay, Virgo, but like trust yourself, because if you show up full authenticity and they reject you, then they don't deserve you, right? If that's what you're afraid of, it's like if you show up completely full authentic self and they reject you, then that means they're not for you. They don't deserve you if that happens. So Virgo, I'm gonna end it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.